Hey guys, so this video is going to be a little bit different to what you're normally used to seeing on this channel. And I feel like I say that a fair amount when I try out new kind of video formats and stuff like that, but this one is something I've never really spoken about in too much detail before, and I'm really excited to kind of talk to you about it and talk to you about my experience and my journeys. And I'm entitling this video How to Be Happy. So I'm basically going to be talking about how I got to this stage in my life where I'm the happiest that I've ever been, how I overcame obstacles in my life that made me unhappy, and how I kind of embraced myself and became confident enough to achieve my dreams and just be really happy living my life. So this video is also a collaboration with Neutrogena, which I'm really excited about because it is part of their See What's Possible campaign, which is basically encouraging women all over the world, it's an international campaign, to see what's possible and really kind of push to achieve their dreams and be happy and kind of confident and to see what's possible in your life, literally. So starting off with my personal journey to being happy. I've spoken about this a little bit in my Draw My Life video, but between the ages of 10 and 12, I was really badly bullied at school and actually left me very, very unhappy. And I think a lot of the time people kind of think, oh, you know, if you're bullied, you can kind of move schools or overcome that and you just automatically kind of recover from it. But it actually left a really long-lasting impact on my self-esteem, the way I thought about things. I became a very negative thinker. I definitely became a glass half empty kind of person. I was always very critical about myself. I became less confident in my looks and in my personality. And it's also something I've had to overcome more recently in my life as well. Not so much bullying, because when you're an adult it's kind of different. Obviously, like, bullying in the workplace does exist, but definitely, like, you know, having people knock my confidence over the years. And over the past few years I've really worked to overcome that. Once I started to kind of realise the effect that certain kind of negative people and negative situations had throughout my life, I actually started to proactively tackle this in my mind. So make myself think more positively, which is so hard, but once you start to change the way you think like that, it makes such an impact. It made me so much happier in myself. So when I made that change in my life a couple of years ago, it really helped me to kind of work towards achieving actual goals in my life and being really happy both personally and professionally. So that is a little bit of an overview of my story to kind of being happy within myself and comfortable within myself. I'm also going to give you a few tips on how I achieved this, because it seems so easy. You're like, yeah, think positively. Like, how do you do that? Because it is actually so hard. Like, if you're stuck in a negative mindset and, you know, it becomes a vicious cycle and it becomes worse and worse. So I'm going to give you my top tips and things that I did to kind of help myself feel happier and more confident in my life. So the first one, and this is one that I like to live by as much as I can, it's so hard, but it is never to compare yourself to anyone else. This is so important, especially when it comes to self-confidence, body confidence. I mean, FOMO is such a thing these days with Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and everything. It's like everyone's life is online and accessible to everybody else so much more than it ever has been before. So it's so easy to get into that negative mindset of comparing yourself to other people, when really that is so unhealthy and it's just pointless. It really is just a waste of time, because essentially you're your own person. You're never going to be anybody else. You might as well, if you want to change the way you feel about yourself or the way you kind of perceive yourself, you might as well work on that as opposed to just looking at what everyone else is doing and comparing yourself. So the way I kind of stopped myself doing this so much, and I still do it occasionally, come on, I'm not perfect, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I don't care, I'm the best, I'm like, you know, I don't need to like look at anyone else. Sometimes I do still look at other people, but you have to take a positive spin on it and be like, oh, I'm gonna take inspiration from you. You know, whether it is someone achieving something really great work-wise, you say like, that's awesome, I'm really inspired by that, I'm going to work harder to achieve something that I want to achieve. So the second point, which is one that I really struggle with because I'm quite a sensitive person on the inside, and I really do take into account what other people think a lot, but it's try not to care what other people think. One of my favourite quotes ever is, those who care don't matter and those who matter don't care. And it is so true. If you're worried about what people think of you, you really are wasting your time again, because those people that are going to judge you for being yourself and the way you are should not matter in your life and should not have an impact on your life. And those who really care about you don't give two hoots about, you know, what you're doing or whatever, because they love you for who you are. So that's a really hard one as well, and it's something that I constantly have to remind myself about. That's another thing. It's like as soon as I kind of feel myself falling into that kind of negative mindset, I have to like catch it. I'm like, no, think positively. And I think that's another tip as well, is just to be more proactive with yourself, like be more conscious of your thought process, and like how your thought process ends up with you being unhappy or feeling sad. You just have to kind of like turn it around. When you feel yourself becoming in a negative mood or thinking negative thoughts, you have to try and kind of counteract it with positive thinking. The next one is to surround yourself with positive people. This one is a more obvious one and an easier one. So for me, this was all about spending more time with the people who I know make me feel good about myself and make me feel happy in who I am, and I just have an amazing time, you know, being with them. Not so much cutting out negative people, because if the negative person that is in your life is to do with work, you know what I mean? You can't necessarily like cut them out unless you move careers or whatever, but it's not always feasible to just cut negative people out of your life. But it's focus on the positive people and appreciate the positive people, and spend less time worrying about and less time spending time with negative people in your life. Another thing that was really important for me when it comes to achieving goals and dreams is to set goals, actually write them down. I always used to think about kind of setting goals and like achievements in my mind, and they always just kind of, you know, I either forget about them or lose motivation. Whereas if you have like a real structured plan to achieving a goal, if you really want to achieve something that you know will make you feel happy and accomplished in your life, then write it down, and like set deadlines as well is really important. So set like mini deadlines towards that goal, instead of just having this like totally high up, out of reach goal that you'll never, like you feel is totally unachievable. You know, have that as your end goal, but then have like 10 steps towards that goal as well. So that really helped me as well in terms of like structuring my kind of goals and achievements in life. But it's also a really good way to make yourself feel good when you achieve smaller goals as well, and appreciate achieving smaller goals in life as opposed to just having that one end goal that might seem unachievable. The next tip for me, and it's one that really helps me when it comes to feeling happy on a day-to-day basis, is to organize your life. If I am not organized, I get crazy. Like I feel like I start to feel out of control, and it generally ends up in a kind of negative cycle of feeling unhappy and not, you know, in control of my life and what's going on. So I like to keep really organized. I keep a paper diary, I keep an electronic diary, and I keep notebooks. I'm just constantly like writing lists. I have a really awesome app on my phone called Wonderlist that allows you to actually write to-do lists every day and tick them off. My next tip is to make your home, or a room in your home, or your bedroom, wherever it might be, whatever space you've got to yourself, make it a sanctuary for you and somewhere where you can really relax, because that's so important. I can only talk from my personal experience, but having a space where I feel totally relaxed, totally at home, and able to just empty my mind and just totally chill out is so important. And then the last point is actually something that I've already mentioned. I kind of jumped ahead of myself, but I want to say it again because it is so important. When it comes to thinking positively, for me, that trick of replacing a negative thought with a positive one is so important. And for me, it was like spending a lot of time with Mike. You guys know Mike if you watch my vlog channel, he's my husband. He's a very positive person, and spending a lot of time with him has really helped me when it comes to like knowing how to do this, like replace a negative thought with a positive one. Because whenever I'm with him, if I'm thinking something negative and tell him, he will tell me the positive. Like he'll be like, oh yeah, but this happened and that's really great, or oh yeah, but they also did this, and you know, you shouldn't think negatively, I'm pretty sure they love you or whatever. If I'm feeling insecure about a friendship or something, he'll always have that positive spin on it. And you know, it comes back to surrounding yourself with positive people again, because they can really help you to train your brain to think like that. And spending more time around people who are positive like that has helped me so much in terms of knowing that little, like when my brain starts to think negatively, just turn it right around and think positively. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little bit different for this channel. If you have any tips for what makes you happy, or if you have any tips for other people and how to kind of be happy and confident in their lives, then let me know in the comment section below. A massive thank you again for Neutrogena for sponsoring this video, because I really love this campaign. I think it's a really positive one, and I'm really kind of excited to share a bit more of my journey with you guys and hear a bit more from you as well about what makes you happy and how you kind of strive to be positive in your life. So I feel like this is a bit more of a deep video than normal, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you very soon. Bye guys.